12. The Nightbeat starts right now.
More COVID-19 variants, and now a new vaccine is closer to hitting the market. How it works and what San Antonio is experiencing right now when it comes to the virus.
And Uvalde's school district plans to increase security, but is it enough? Where parents are moving their students ahead of the new school year.
Plus, the Bijou Theater has left the building, but there's a new talent expected to fill that space. That story coming up for you in just a bit. But first, a new school year means new buildings and new school security for the city of Uvalde. We are starting to see the changes form up weeks after the school shooting there.
So we know that Robb Elementary is set to be demolished, and some students are going to attend different campuses starting August 15th. Uvalde CISD also announced new security measures like fencing, security cameras, and upgraded doors, locks, and more district police.
But that may not be enough. The Night Team's Lee Waldman reports some families are choosing to move away from the public school system altogether.
And we're on a target to be at least 100 students. Last year we started with 52.
The McCallie Christian Academy is under construction.
It probably looks see some of this.
Working to accommodate an influx of new students this year.
This here is now going to be another preschool room, which is we're going to be able to use that for our academy. And that's a large room.
Ever since the Robb Elementary shooting, interest and enrollment has been up.
Sometimes more than one a day, meeting with more than one family a day.
It's part of a growing trend. The Archdiocese of San Antonio says multiple Robb Elementary families are switching to Sacred Heart Catholic School. Private schools like Sacred Heart and McCallie will cost families several $1,000s per child per year. But their main questions center around one thing.
What do you do about safety?
The one entrance in and out of McCallie Christian Academy is locked at all times. A secretary will need to buzz you in, but when you get inside of the school, there are more safety precautions in place.
The school is surrounded by padlocked gates. They have armed security on site and cameras covering nearly every inch.
Some additional protocols for safety on our classroom doors, and there'll be locked doors all the time.
In Uvalde, Sacred Heart School just received similar upgrades. Security cameras, magnetic locks, a key card system, and wiring and hardwire throughout the school. Today, Uvalde CISD announced they'll be using a $1 million gift from the Las Vegas Raiders to install new perimeter fencing, cameras, upgrading doors and locks, and hiring additional district police and security personnel. Necessary changes to adapt to a new normal.
10 years ago, we weren't as much concerned about safety as we are now.
Just learned the Archdiocese of San Antonio launched a campaign to raise money to pay for tuition at Sacred Heart. Part of that comes from this website behind me. That, in combination with a large donation, will accommodate for up to 100 additional students. Back to you.
Lee, thank you. Now, parents say that changes to security are just not enough. Oscar Oruna and Kimberly Rubio had kids at Robb Elementary. Now, Rubio lost her daughter in that shooting. Oruna's son survived but was injured. They joined other groups today in Washington to demand that Congress raise the age to buy assault rifles from 18 to 21. And then they spoke about how the shooting has affected them.
Then the next thing he saw was one of his classmates basically taking her last breaths and gurgling blood through her mouth and her nose. I don't wish this on anyone.
Now I want you to picture my face, my husband's face, as we read our daughter's death certificate. Our faces contorted in pain, tears flowing freely as we read her cause of death, gunshot wound to the head.
Now, survivors from the recent shooting in Highland Park, Illinois, were also at that same rally. Right now, San Antonio police are trying to figure out who shot a man in the back and in the neck. It happened near King Avenue and Spindle Avenue on the city's southwest side. Officers say that the woman who called 911 said that her father was shot. That man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Investigators say that nobody's cooperating in this investigation. So far, police have not arrested anyone.
The Food and Drug Administration is approving a new COVID-19 vaccine. The Novavax vaccine is different from the RNA vaccines like Pfizer and Moderna. This latest vaccine uses protein fragments to teach the body's immune system how to fight off the virus. It's already reported to respond to variants like Omicron, BA4 and 5. It still has another step before making it to the market, though. CDC advisors plan to meet on July 19th to make its recommendation to the CDC director. We've seen BA4 and 5 strains make up the majority of cases here in the country. Pfizer and Moderna hope to release their new vaccine in the fall to better target strains. The Night Team's Patty Santos tells us those subvariants are impacting the San Antonio community right now.
And
Telly Dolge tested positive 4 days ago.
I had not remembered feeling that sick before, ever.
Atalia Lara is still recovering from her bout with COVID 2 weeks ago.
Yes, I have experienced a lot of shortness of breath, which is, I went to the doctor today for that because I was like, what is going on?
Both were vaccinated and boosted and had dodged the virus since the pandemic started, but both likely contracted the highly transmissible Omicron variants of BA4 or BA5 currently circulating our community,
which make up more than about 70% of all new COVID-19 infections.
Metro Health is closely monitoring the rising COVID infections. They say BA1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 Omicron variants are all out there, and you can get all of them back to back.
This will lead to more breakthrough infections. This will lead to more new cases that will be documented here in our communities.
The risk level today is high with 336 hospitalizations, 19 patients on ventilators, 58 in the ICU, and 1 new death. Baptist Health Dr. Dwayne Hospenthal says early studies show all these subvariants spread quickly, but there's good news.
It really looks like if you've gotten your first 1 or 2 shots followed by a booster at 6 to 12 months, that you're probably protected still against serious disease, even with these new variants.
It's still with us, and so really please be safe.
Both Dolge and Lara attribute their quick recovery to the vaccine, but say getting COVID was an awful experience.
I would not want to go through that ever again.
And COVID fatigue may be the reason why more people are not wearing their masks or keeping their social distance. But remember, doctors say vaccines lessen the severity of these illnesses. If you have not yet been vaccinated or you need a booster shot, the city is hosting a pop-up clinic here at the Frank Garrett Center this Friday from 10 to 1. We have all that information on KSAT.com. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Patty. To the latest now on our dangerous heat wave. We came close today, but it looks like the power grid was able to stay up above demand. This graph shows the 2 lines came close to crossing earlier this afternoon. Grid manager ERCOT says they managed to avoid any problems with the help of solar, wind, and thermal energy and the use of, quote, various tools, end quote. Both ERCOT and CPS Energy asked people to conserve power until late in the day. CPS Energy did note a power outage for a different reason just east of 281 in Thousand Oaks. People at Broken Oak townhomes were left in the heat for nearly 7 hours. One man says he was frustrated after his home became unbearable.
It's almost 90 degrees in our house right now. Actually, I had to come outside, get in the car in order to cool down, me and the kids.
As for the reason for that outage, CPS Energy says an underground residential line failed. This comes days after a fire at a CPS Energy substation. While the investigation continues, the utility says equipment failed in that incident.
And here are your headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. Now that all the victims in the San Antonio migrant tragedy have been identified, they're going to be sent to their homes. The Mexican Air Force started moving bodies back to Mexico today. 26 of the 53 people who were found dead inside that semi-truck were Mexican citizens. The other victims were from Guatemala and Honduras. Flames turned deadly during this afternoon's house fire. Firefighters say that 1 cat was killed and 2 dogs were rescued from that burning home. We want to show you that scene on Slattery Street near Wurzbach on the northwest side. Firefighters say that someone passing by that home noticed smoke and just like that called 911. Now, the homeowners weren't there at the time. The fire started in the back of the house, but investigators are still working on a possible cause. Another local school district is offering a pay raise, and this is coming after test scores at Southside ISD drastically improved. That increase, though, not just for current staff, because the district is also offering higher pay for first-year teachers in that school district. The base rate is about $59,000, and that's before a possible $3,000 performance bonus. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. Next up, new life for an empty movie theater. Why you'll recognize the newest tenant at the Wonderland of the Americas.
Plus, an update on San Antonio's very own corpse flower, the special nickname given to that flower coming up.
You're going to like that one. Plus, a family's backyard turned into a potential crime scene. The unexpected discovery that put their barbecue pit at the center of an investigation. You're going to see it. We'll talk about it. It's next on the Nightbeat. Tonight, more questions and answers after a possible human skeleton wound up inside a family's barbecue pit. Yeah, it happened. The bones were found yesterday afternoon in Houston. One man working outside noticed the remains inside the pit, called police, and now investigators are trying to figure out whether they're even human.
Of course, at this point, we don't know race, sex, and we don't know how the body, if it is a human skeleton, how the person died. Medical examiner or homicide investigators will determine all that.
So right now, what police are calling this is a death investigation. Nobody's been charged.
We have reached a new and dangerous record, and it involves overdose deaths from fentanyl and other synthetic opioids. The CDC says the substances were to blame for nearly 73,000 deaths from February of last year to this year. And now investigators in Wisconsin say fentanyl contributed to the death of a baby there. Police say the couple was dealing and using the drug. The child apparently died during a nap. In the U.S., the CDC says deaths involving fentanyl and other synthetic opioids have jumped 85% in just the past 2 years. Tomorrow, Governor Greg Abbott is set to discuss the growing fentanyl crisis right here in Texas. He is expected to tour the DPS Drug Warehouse and Crime Lab over in Houston. The press conference is expected to start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'll have coverage.
Switching gears, let's talk money now. A new report is showing that inflation hit a 40-year high last month. It's up 9.1% from June of 2021. Analysts say that we're spending at least 25% more on rent compared to this time last year. And I know you've seen it because groceries are also going up. And that's adding to growing fears of a possible recession. Now, when it comes to gas prices, yeah, those are down a little bit. Right now, a gallon of regular gas averages $4.09 in San Antonio, and Gas Buddy predicts that the price is going to continue to drop for a few more weeks.
New tonight, the Wonderland of the Americas Mall is expecting to fill some space with some San Antonio talent. We've told you about the city of Balcones Heights buying nearly half of that property to bring in new revenue. Well, then in April, Santikos announced the Bijou Theater would be leaving the mall space. Well, now we've learned who is expected to jump in and fill that spot. The Woodlawn Theater will call the Wonderland of the Americas home early next year. The theater is known for producing award-winning musicals for 10 years in the Deco District on Fredericksburg Road. The theater says the move will allow them to broaden the theater's efforts. This move means the theater will have a new name, but that has not been announced yet. The city of Balcones Heights says this is a significant lease, which is positive for the bottom line and will help complement other entertainment options in the area.
So now to an update on San Antonio's first corpse flower. That stinker has a new nickname. It's at the San Antonio Zoo, and it's called La Llorona. So the flower has grown a full foot since last Thursday, so it's closer to booming. And you know what? KSAT.com, yes, we are on Bloom Watch. We actually have a camera where you can look at the corpse flower online whenever you want. And if you want to experience its unique scent, you're going to have to go to the zoo for that. All right.
I'll pass.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the zoo, we want to take you there. There's a live shot right there outside of the San Antonio Zoo. 91 degrees. Yeah, still hot, but just a little better than it was maybe a few hours ago. And that's the thing, right? Because the zoo during the week, it's open from 9 to 4. And it's really hot.
Well, and they also every now and then will have drive-thrus at the zoo to help people out. Yeah, still 92 degrees outside right now, and that heat index value makes it feel closer to 100 even this late. I want to start with a view of Texas right now. It is fairly quiet across the state. That pesky heat high has moved off to the west a little bit, and now it's still going to be hot. We're still going to have triple digits for the foreseeable future. But with that heat high moving a little off to the west, it allows for pieces of energy to get around the east side of that heat high. And so tomorrow we're going to have a slightly better chance for rain than we did today, but slightly better really in this case only means about 20%, but the chance is still there. And as for the day today, we got up to 104 degrees for the high temperature. That's almost 10 degrees above the average. Even this morning, we only got as cool as 81 degrees. In fact, we haven't seen the 70s since Saturday morning. It's been more than 4 days since we've been at or above 80 degrees here. It's not just those afternoons that are hot. You know, the mornings are pretty warm too. So let me take you through the high-res futurecast. Most of the day tomorrow is going to be completely quiet, sunny, hot, high temperature in the triple digits. But as we head into the early evening hours, a complex of storms may hold on together enough to make it to San Antonio between the hours of about 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. Now, right now, the best we can do is about a 20% chance, but make sure to check in tomorrow morning with Mike and Justin. They're going to be able to update that chance for precipitation tomorrow. But right now, best we can do is about 20%. So keep your fingers crossed. By midnight, all that rain chances will go away, and we'll just be left with another warm evening. So outside tomorrow morning in your KSAT 12-hour forecast, it'll be 80 degrees. It's going to be sunny for the first part of the day. We'll see a few more clouds right around noon, 92 around noon, so already in the 90s by lunch. And then in the afternoon, 102 for the high temperature. That's what we're going at for the high temperature tomorrow. And it's after 5 p.m. that will introduce that chance for isolated showers and storms. But again, remember to check back in with Mike, Justin, and Adam tomorrow. Elsewhere tomorrow, it'll be 105 for the high temperature in Del Rio, 106 in Eagle Pass, 103 in Gonzales, 102 in Canyon Lake, 104 in Pleasanton. A closer metro view here, 104 in Hondo, 103 in Seguin, and 102 in Converse. Am I sounding like a broken record yet? Yeah, we're going to be in the triple digits. All right, another thing to keep in mind is that the Saharan dust is going to be making its way back in to south central Texas pretty much by Saturday. You can see this plume starting to work its way in. It'll become more moderate to dense Sunday and Monday. So if you are particularly sensitive to the Saharan dust, just know that by this weekend you may need to take some extra allergy medicine. But by Tuesday of next week, that'll dissipate. Another thing to keep in mind is the aquifer continues to tumble. We're down to 632 feet above sea level. In San Antonio, stage 2 water restrictions are still in effect, but the aquifer is the lowest it's been since 2014. This is from Justin Horn, a picture on our KSAT Connect app, and you can see he's struggling to keep those plants alive like many of us are, despite hand watering every day. So we need rain. Let's hope that that 20% goes up tomorrow, but the best we can do right now is about a 20% chance. Otherwise, triple-digit trouble for us over the coming days. Saharan dust is possible over the weekend.
And as you said, we should keep that allergy medicine handy for when that happens.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, so the Spurs didn't have a game today, so what did they do?
Oh, gamble, of course. No, just kidding.
They're in Vegas.
Their gambling's better than they're playing so
yes,
far.
indeed. So far, yeah, winless in Vegas is never good. When we come back, how do they want to finish their last 2 games before the playoffs begin? They will let us know. And Baylor picked number 1 in the Big 12 preseason media poll coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs got a day off today. It gets ready for the Atlanta Hawks in their second to last scheduled game in the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas. They will be looking for their first win in Sin City after dropping the opener to the Cleveland Cavaliers, lost a close one, Golden State Warriors, and then blew an 18-point lead and fell to the Rockets on Monday. The Spurs were able to get into practice today, and that's where they caught up with first-round draft pick Blake Wesley. So what does Blake want to do in the final 2 contests?
Just going out with a bang and just keeping our competitiveness up, keeping our leads. We lost a couple leads at the end, but just getting better. Just win these last 2 games and go out with Summer League with a bang.
Blake went in the first round, number 25 overall out of Notre Dame, but right before him was his Spurs rookie teammate Malachi Branham, who told us what his plans was on his off day. He was going to hit the weight room to help add a little more bulk to his frame. Blake bounced back from a rough performance in the Summer League opener with only 6 points, but against the Rockets he had a Summer League high of 20. Malachi was asked about the personality of one of his teammates in Las Vegas, an undrafted free agent Darius Days out of LSU, who he calls a funny dude.
He's a goofy dude, so like I feel like anything that he do, like I can just look at him and start laughing. So it's just one of them. It's just one of them. Yeah.
All right, here's a look at the Summer League schedule as it continues tomorrow at 2 p.m. against the Atlanta Hawks.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
There is a new report out today that says Deshaun Watson's suspension from the NFL for violating the league's personal code of conduct could be as little as 4 to 6 games to start the 2022 season. That's according to ESPN Cleveland, even though the NFL is asking for an indefinite suspension of at least a year without pay for his behavior during massages. The indefinite gives the league extra protection just in case more disturbing issues are uncovered. Following the introduction of legal briefs from both the NFL and Watson's representatives this week, disciplinary hearing officer Sue L. Robinson is expected to rule before training camps begin in less than 2 weeks. Remember, the Browns traded 6 draft picks, including 3 first-rounders, in order to land Watson, so there is a lot riding on the decision. Baker Mayfield is no longer a fallback guy for Cleveland. The Browns traded him to Carolina for a 2024 conditional 5th-round pick. In order to make the deal go through, Mayfield agreed to take a $3.5 million pay cut, still making $15.5 million, with the Browns paying $10.5 million of that. In his introductory news conference, Baker was asked if he was shocked what went down this offseason.
Yeah, shocked. I'd say it was, pretty much the only way to describe it. But you roll with the punches and you got to move forward. This is a test of adversity and how I'm going to handle it and how I can move forward and be the best teammate possible with our new home. And I'm looking forward to it.
Now, one thing he has to be looking forward to the most is if he's named the starter for Game 1, guess who the first opponent will be? The team that got rid of him, the Browns, at home.
And obviously, it's going to be a special one. It's going to be a home game and playing against a former team. A similar situation of what I've gone through in the past when transferring from college to college. So got to handle it the best way possible. And, my job is to put our team in the best position to win. And however I can help do that, that's what I'm going to do.
All right. Remember, after starting out as a quarterback for Texas Tech, Mayfield transferred to Oklahoma after only 1 year in Lubbock. Big 12 Media Days kicked off today at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Right out of the gate, the Baylor Bears took center stage. That's because for the first time in program history, they're ranked #1 in the preseason Big 12 media poll, breaking Oklahoma's 6-year streak, who came in second. This after Baylor won the Big 12 football championship last year and now expected to repeat. Head coach Dave Aranda, in just his 3rd year in Waco, was asked about that today, and this was part of his response.
Like, this is way cool with the lights and all the people and being asked questions can feel cool, man, but I think that's really not real. What's real is what's happening day to day in your locker room, in your weight room, in your cafeteria, right? How the team is handling each other or how they handling situations and all of it, right? Are we becoming a player-led team? Or do we still need to be a coach-led team? And so I think to put the focus where the focus needs to be, I guess, would be my answer to that.
In other words, I'm not paying attention to any of that. San Antonio FC with an opportunity to widen their lead in the Western Conference. Next. San Antonio FC returns to action this Saturday night at Toyota Field, and they host Atlanta United 2 at 8 p.m. SAFC still has the lead in the Western Conference by 4 points ahead of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. SAFC's record is 13-1-3, while Colorado Springs is just behind at 12-0-6. That record could change before SAFC takes a pitch on Saturday, since the Switchbacks face LA Galaxy 2 Friday night in Los Angeles.
Yeah, pressure is a privilege, and the players earn the opportunity to have this pressure, to have the target on the back, and we're excited by the challenge. We know that everybody is going to come here or away. We're the team now to beat, and we're excited by that challenge, and our mindset has to remain the same. We have to be cohesive, ultra-competitive, and resilient.
And I would add to that, pressure is an earned privilege because you earned it to get there, right?
Yeah.
As the #1 team.
Good luck to them.
Exactly.
Thank you, Greg.
We're back in 2 minutes.
The heat has many cooling off with some ice cream. Texas, of course, known for Bluebell, but take a look at what's trending in Brooklyn, New York. And Art Collective there is selling ice cream bars called, get this, Eat the Rich. Each bar is made in the likeness of Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, Amazon originator Jeff Bezos, and Tesla chief Elon Musk. I think I've got a stomachache just looking at him.
Zuckerberg, I recognized him, but the Elon Musk one, I didn't really think it looked like him.
I have to see him again there.
All right. Well, anyway, that does it for the Night Beat. Don't forget that Good Morning San Antonio starts at 4:30, and please stay cool tonight.
Have some ice cream. Good night.